This is Entrepreneurs Get Visible, the podcast for people who want more impact, influence, and income. I'm Anna Parker-Naples, and I'll be sharing with you proven methods from leading entrepreneurs that help you get visible as an authority in your field. Because anything's possible when you get visible. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Entrepreneurs Get Visible. We're talking today about the missing piece, the missing sales piece in online business. And I think this is really crucial. Many people come into online business thinking it's all just about the attraction marketing and not really understanding that you have to know how to sell and how to do it properly. And I'm joined today by Jade Jemma, who... well, she's great. And she is all about the sales, has a massive sales background. And actually, I think cuts through a lot of the rubbish that we see about selling in the online space. So we're going to tear this apart and help you find that missing piece for yourself in your business. So hello, Jade. Thank you for coming.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be jamming on all things sales, which is my favorite topic. So let's dive in.
So Jade and I are having this conversation hot on the heels of an incredible karaoke night.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was only a few days ago, maybe even a week that we did that. And we were talking about the importance of building those relationships, right? Building those relationships that are not about the pitch, not about what you do, not about how much credibility you have, but meeting people and working out if you vibe together. I think that was your phrase that I'm going to now just borrow. And this is really important in sales. And I think this, for many people, is something that they're not even aware of.
Yes, totally. The energetic piece around who you are wanting to attract and who wants to work for you is so overlooked. And like we were saying before, if you don't have that connection with someone and you're not on the same level, you're going to really struggle to work together, collaborate together or anything. And when I'm helping my clients and my students with the sales piece, it's always the first thing I start with. Like, what is your energy? Who do you want to work with? Who excites you? Like, what brings you joy? And starting from there, rather than where most people start when they do their business, is who is my ideal client and where can I find them? Not even thinking about, do I even like this person? Could we hang out?
And that's really important, because I think when you're early on in your business, you so just want the business to work that you are not discerning. You are they want me, even though I didn't really like them on the discovery call, I'm still going to take their cash because I really need it. And those people become the headache. And I actually think there's almost like a rite of very uncomfortable passage that you have to go through to work out, that's not enough for me anymore. Just getting the cash in, that's not enough. That's not going to sustain me. That's not going to excite me about my business. And getting your hat on to your head clear about who actually brings you joy, who actually lights you up when you get on a call, because that's where you're going to do your best work.
Yeah. And you got to kiss some frogs in the beginning. I think we've all done some frog snogging in our early days.
Yep. So how can we make sure we don't kiss any more frogs, Jade?
Oh, that's a big question. But just to kind of like rewind and how I got to here, that when I first came online, I'd had a really long, successful career in corporate sales where I was selling myself. I was helping my corporate clients build and grow their sales teams. And I was managing and training salespeople myself. So it was really, the focus was the sales. And then I came online and I found it very bizarre. I was in these Facebook groups and I saw these long stories with, like people that looked like me, but didn't have many clothes on, talking about these stories. And, I'm all for, if you're confident about your body, like I'm not shaming anyone who wants to, but I found it very odd because I'd come from that very quite masculine corporate consultative world. And then in this world of where it was this like attraction marketing, and I was like, wow, like these people are making loads of money. But what happened in my early days, I was in a group program, like we all tend to join, and lots of people was like doing this market research. Oh, did you used to work in corporate, or are you this age? And I was always like, I'm happy to help. And then I'd get on these calls with them, helping them in their market research. And every call ended up in them admitting to me they weren't actually getting many clients and me helping them with the sales piece. And after about 6 times, I realized 2 things. First of all, everyone that we see doing this like attraction marketing,
wearing the bikini on the beach.
Yeah, with their
Not
champagne.
my style. Nobody needs to really see that. My kids would die of embarrassment.
Yeah, but the 2 things I realized that first of all, most of it is smoke and mirrors, and people are putting things out there to make themselves look successful in order to get the clients, which is fine. You know, if that's what you want to do, it's not what I teach or believe in. But I also realized that most entrepreneurs, they knew how to write copy, but they weren't doing any of the selling. So the relationship selling, the social selling, the connections. So what I started doing, which was really quite out there at the time, was helping my clients in, okay, we're going to do the marketing bit, but how about we look at everyone in our audience and figure out who's got their hand up, who's interested in what we want to do, and let's start talking to them. So, you know, I've been doing this for 4 years now. I've got a program called Sales Bootcamp where we do all of this. And, you know, as I've discovered in the last sort of year and a half, it's now become trendy. And now friends of mine and people that I know, they're like, oh, how can we do this stuff as well? Because it's so effective. Even when I work with clients in their launches, like the big needle movers have always come from not another post, but okay, here's who I want you to talk to, because I'm looking in the group and I'm like, that person's keen, that let's go here and let's do these conversations, maybe adding in some like little mini calls on Zoom. So when you add in the 2 bits together, the attraction marketing and the messaging and the audio stuff, like what you're doing, and the sales psychology conversations, the nurturing, the real human to human relationships, from my experience and what I've seen, that's really like the magic ingredients. Like all together, it's a really nice recipe for success.
So this is about actually getting in the trenches, whether it's you or someone in your team, to have those conversations. We as human beings buy from people that we feel we have an affinity to or connection with, right? And there's also a lot of reciprocity. I never know how to say this guy. Every time I want to mention this book, I can't say it. The Influence book, Robert Cialdini. The amount of times I say that on this podcast and actually have to fess up, I can't say it properly. This is how you warm people up. But not only that, the more conversations you have, the more you know whether someone is really hot, the more you understand that they're tempted by your program, or it's not for them, or not for another year. Or
and
there's
why
no
not?
way they could afford it ever. Or that actually they love you, but they would actually rather go and purchase this from somebody else. And until you get in relationship with people, you don't know that stuff.
It's all guesswork. And that's where you get your real gems for your content. In hearing those stories, and maybe if they give you a story, I'm not ready now, you know, what's their thought process? That can make you think, oh, that'd be some great content. All of my content comes from those discussions where I hear about fears and objections and things. And I'm like, I'm going to write a post on that. I'm going to do a live. And it's so interesting. And what I always say is, I do really believe in online marketing. I think it's amazing. Like the stuff that you do with podcasting and audio, it is so good. But I always say, if this was the most effective way as a standalone thing, then why do all the biggest brands in the world who I used to work with all have sales teams? All of them. You know, I've worked with FTSE 100s, Fortune 500s, all around the world. They do the marketing bit, but then they have their foot soldiers who are there on the phones, going to meetings, taking clients out.
And their job is to woo and close, right?
Yes.
And so I feel that in the online space, we've got all of this showcasing.
We got the wooing.
Hey, the look at me. But what we don't have is closing that deal. Some people are out there doing, but as a whole, it's not as present as it should be. It's all a question of, hey, you're going to go into your Facebook group and turn up every day. Great. You need that. But also, if you don't actually think about the importance of sales, they don't just happen. No matter what funnel you've got, it doesn't just happen. You've got to do extra legwork as well.
I think there's a lot of fear this is what I've seen over the years in selling predominantly to women like us. There is a big fear around the rejection, around they associate someone saying, and I always say a no is not a no forever. It's just a no, not today. And they associate a no or a ghosting or an ignoring of a message with, oh my God, that I'm awful, my product's wrong, I charged it. They take it on themselves rather than what I try and help my clients with is focusing on, let's be honest, selling is helping. If you are truly here to serve, and that is your objective, you are here to help more people, have podcast companies, feeds, so they can impact more people. With me, it's helping my clients change the world one sale at a time. If you can focus on that, then it doesn't matter about the people who are not ready now. You need to be more relentless in finding the people that are ready, because otherwise it's all about the ego and we're thinking about ourselves. And we all do it. It is hard putting yourself out there, but as soon as you can switch, it's not about me. It's about those people who are ready for my help, focusing on them. That can sometimes help with the rejection, because we all get rejected.
Of course. And that's natural that we do. I think there's a piece missing that is in the online space. What I see people earlier on in their business realize, okay, I need a lead magnet. So I'm going to get the freebie out there and then I'm going to get people on my list. And that's a hurdle in itself when you don't understand the processes or what they're really for, or the sophistication and refinements that you're going to learn as you are in the space for longer. Yeah. And that's fine. But what about the people who don't buy from you at that point? They still like you. They still like your content. But what happens? And what happens if you start to get yourself on a call with them or reach out and voice note them? What happens if you invite some of your community to come for a drink with you? Yeah. And all those kind of things where people actually see you as a human being and feel much more of a connection to you.
Totally. I think the industry conversion rates are what has kept a lot of people stuck, because so many times people say to me, oh, I need more in my Facebook group, more on my email list, because I know there's, like average 1.5% conversion. So I need more and need more. And I'm like, okay, so let's just say 100 people, 1.5 have bought. How about rather than going after another 100 people, let's speak to the rest, the 98.5, however many is left. Let's speak to them and see if any of them might be wanting to have a conversation or where they're at, rather than this constant more. I need more on my email list, more in my group, more on my Instagram, rather than going into who's already here. Let's try and build a bond and build some intimacy with them, rather than just collecting fans that they never speak to.
I like those phrases, a bond and intimacy. Ooh. Yeah, again, it comes back to relationship, comes back to business is person to person. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
For someone then who feels like they're really a bit clueless about what they're doing with sales, where do they get started with this? What's the first thing that they need to refine?
I would say, because most people come to me when they've done all of the things, they've tried to figure out their ideal client, they've done all these courses and they're focusing on getting everything perfect before they sell. I actually come from the school of thought where actually I would rather throw you in the deep end to start with. So I always say, even if you're really not clear on who you want to sell to or exactly how your products are going to look, start talking to people. There is so much value in having conversations, even if you are at day dot and you've just started your business, market research calls, having discussions with the people that you think you might be able to help to really understand the symptoms that they're experiencing and what the underlying problems are and where they really want to be and what things they've already tried. Because it's from those conversations that you get the real clarity around, wow, I've got this thing that I can do, and then sell it to some people. And then you can start refining the branding and the photo shoots and all the lovely stuff. But I see so many entrepreneurs, they do all of that stuff first. And then by the time they start working with real humans, they realize it all needs changing.
I think listening is really important. So what you're saying is people they don't have proof that they're off for work. So they don't understand really what a client might need to get them over the line. Yeah. And that then needs to be much more present in the initial offer, the initial approach, your sales pages, how you talk about it on a call or a webinar or a challenge. I know that this is something you help people with all the time. So can you let listeners know where is the best place to come and check out some of your work?
Yes. So my website is freedomzest.com. There's loads of free resources for this sort of stuff there. And then if you want to come and say hello and have a real conversation, same name, Freedom Zest, over on Instagram.
So ladies and gentlemen, that was Jade Jemma with J's. My daughter's name is Gemma with a J as well.
Oh,
so
I love it.
She doesn't like it if someone's called Gemma because that's her name.
Bless.
So go check out Jade's work at freedomzest.com and think about what you're actually doing for your sales. Why aren't people actually signing up with you? Are you focusing just on the marketing and the visibility, but not actually building the relationship and asking for the sale, right? Just go and do it. There is so much money on the table in your audience right now that you are ignoring, and it's down to you to go and mop that up. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs Get Visible. To get your free checklist on how to raise your profile and to find out about our community, go to annaparkernaples.co.uk/get visible.